Hey, Facebook fam. It's your girl, Neo Soul recording artist Lahla-Hadiya. Back again to close out this week's segment of Morning Tea with Mommy. How you guys doing? Let me see those thumbs up, those hearts, those happy faces. Let me know you guys are up bright and early, ready to get your day started. So, you know how I like to end the week with something fun to talk about, yet thought provoking. So, today's topic is there you go, some happy people out here. Um, today's topic is how have you changed over the last 5 years? Those of you who caught the topic last night, hopefully you've had some time to think about it, so we can discuss. I need to hear from you guys today. I'm gonna try to do less talking today. Today I decided to be in my office. As you can see, I got look. It's supposed to be videos for me and it's kid videos, but I decided to come in my office today, so that the cat would not annoy me. But anyway, hey, what's going on, Nat? What's going on, boo? I hope you staying safe over there with those babies. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring my mother on so we can get started with the topic. What she reading again? What is that?
Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. I was just having some homemade muffins that I made on yesterday.
Okay, but tell them what happened though. I was
What
supposed
had
to get
happened
said
was,
muffins.
let me clear my mouth. Don't want to be rude. What had happened was, I made these muffins, and a certain daughter of mine, I only have one daughter, right? One really birthright daughter. She is allergic to bananas.
I
And
am, guys.
these are banana muffins, vegan muffins. Well, I took I took some out for hers, specially made without the bananas. I stuck toothpicks in them. And when I came back to put them in a Ziploc, one of them was gone.
So let me ask you guys a question. When you go to a fast food restaurant, I know it's been a while, but when you go to a fast food restaurant, right? The normal way they make a burger, they wrap it the normal way, right? And when you ask for something different, what do? They either mark on the little thingy or they wrap it on the opposite side. Or if it's a little box, they poke the little box, put a dot over it. If you see a toothpick, do that mean they normal?
Yes, well, I think what
Somebody was
had
out to get
happened
me.
was, my coworker, who happens to be my son, who is
Mm,
working, from home.
they don't care about
They were
me.
just so delicious that he just totally ignored the toothpick and gobbled them down.
I bet
But,
he don't care about
but,
me.
however, I will make another special batch just for you.
What we
How
say
about that?
about being spoiled?
You
I
know
guess I
something?
am. So what? I be that.
Yeah. And I've got to plug what I was reading when we came on was this magazine called
Yo,
Life,
where's
and
Gerald?
this
Like,
amazing
are you
author,
secretly my
Gerald.
brother or something? Why
I'm
she keep
telling
shouting you
you,
out?
he is amazing.
He
This
is.
guy writes. I need to get with him and get his strategy, because he turns out books like, I
I
mean,
think
like,
I got an alert. I think he has another book coming out. It's a
yes,
sequel
yes.
to
But you
um
got to check him out,
it's a
Gerald
sequel to something
Anderson,
that
the author. Well, I'm saying latest book, but like I say, he turns them out so fast. Weight loss, it's really, 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 really good. I can't keep my nose out of this book. So you got to check him out, check him out, check him out. But how's everybody doing? It's it's really a beautiful day in
it
my
is.
neighborhood. The sun is shining through my
It is.
window.
My finger
I
is
love the
unjammed. I
sun.
think I'm going back out there to play football with my boys again and my husband later on today.
Think I'll go out and feed the squirrels.
my gosh.
and the birds.
Okay, let's go with the topic. Let's go with the topic. Something is happening here. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, let's go with
Um,
the topic.
so the topic today: how have you changed over the last 5 years? I
Ooh,
already have a comment. Meaty says I have become more patient. I'm working on that one. I don't think I don't think I'm there yet. I'm still in the process of becoming that. Um, because I have patience for certain things, like then other things I need work. Um, but I think for me, um, I have I don't know. I'll come back to me. I was thinking about it all last night, and it's a lot of changes. It's a lot. Um, One of them, I've had a child, and
one of them will
another
be
one,
awake in a few minutes.
I've become the little old lady that lives in the shoe. Um, I
Yeah,
have,
one of them will be awake
I
in a few
know,
minutes.
I've actually began to walk in one of my actual gifts that I didn't go to school for. Um, Yet it was something that I was very good at, and I've been doing all my life, and that is actually going into accounting, becoming a chief financial officer, being able to actually, manage other people's money other than mine, and even help people with financial literacy. So that's something that's happened in the last 5 years.
And you've always been good with money, really, seriously.
I
Um,
have. That's why I'm drinking one of my kids'
really
sippy
has.
cups.
I spoke a few days ago about how she would keep a journal, a little black and white marble. Remember those, the black and white marble notebooks?
Yes,
And
I
she
have
would
one.
highlight things. Everything was color coded, so forth. And in that book, also, she kept up with her tithes. Okay, you church folk know what tithes are, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And 10% of your earnings. And that was something we started the kids with. And La was really always so diligent with that, very faithful with her tithes. Even when she just had, a few dollars, she would always take that out off the top. And I guess that's why she's so blessed. She's being blessed. God is really blessing her with that. But this topic, I kind of, it was very easy for me because coming up 5 years, will be 5 years this January 1st. I would have been retired 5 years. And
Hey,
wow, yay. I'm going to tell you, you talk about a de-stressor, a
is
de-stressor.
it? Because I thought having the kids full time was like.
Well, it was. It was a
Now that I
de-stressor.
know it doesn't bother you, I'll let them stay a little longer when we get back to
And
going to the
listen, you
work
guys,
building.
she had the audacity to pull up some articles saying research says that people who spend time with their grandkids live
They
longer.
do.
I'm like,
It's
really?
proven. How we
Really?
gonna prove it unless you try it? Like, let me. We gotta try it. Like, how you gonna disprove it? You know what I'm
Really?
saying? Like,
Okay. And I guess I'm the guinea pig for that, right?
Tora.
But anyhow, anywho, um,
Hey,
this
Toriano.
5 years retired. When I retired, I walked out of that building. It was like a weight had lifted off of me. Really, really. In fact, when I, had to go to the school board to do the final papers and so forth, and I walked out of there singing and just videotaping myself walking out the building, or should I say, hopping out of the building. It was just unbelievably a weight lifted. I
I
love
can't wait.
teaching.
I
I
can't wait
love
to do that.
educating people. I still, to this day, that's what I do. That's my handle. However, when when you can do it on your schedule, on your time, it's a lot different. The other thing that is different with me is I was able to increase my worship time. prayer was always and worship was always a part of me. Uh, Prior to getting out of my car and going in the building, several of my coworkers used to tap on my window, like, "Are you okay?" Because I had to fuel up before going in the building. But once I retired, I anytime, morning, noon, and night is my worship and prayer time. The other thing was, yes, I am able to spend more time with my grands. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, she loves
Just
it.
hug them
Just
up,
drop them
hug them
off.
up, and just send them
Hold up,
back.
when this thing
Yes,
over?
hug them,
First
love them,
stop,
hug them,
grandma's house.
hug
Last
them,
stop.
love them, and send them back. Yes, and then of course the really really important thing is more me time, more me time, me time anytime. You know, no schedules, no signing in, just me time. I can luncheon with friends. I can do whatever I want to do, and that was one of my famous quotes to the kids. I said, "Hey, I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. Hello." And just
Got a
en-
list. What is happening over there? Like she got a
and
list,
just
y'all.
enjoy life. Enjoy life. That is so important. We've been talking here and there about that mental health time, and that is so important. I encourage everyone that I talk with, everyone I come in contact with. It's so important, really, to spend time with yourself, really. So that's just a few of the things that, I can say
A few.
truly
She been
have
talking
changed
for
over.
like,
Yes, and I could go on. I could go on, but I won't. I want to hear from
oh,
you guys.
we gonna get to the people. So let me see. Let me see.
I love it.
Toriano,
I
come
love
on
it.
now. Toriano says he has not changed much. Still, he's still the same. I don't think so. I beg to differ because let's see. How long has it been since I've been away from Nationwide? I definitely feel like you and
Oh, that's
Wifey
ages.
have changed a little bit or a significant amount. You know, from when I first got you guys at Nationwide. So don't do that. Don't sell yourself short. Um, you said a better job. That's it. Mm-mm. I think it's more. I think it's more. Okay, my sis says I have become less patient with people, or should I say, adults, and how they come off to me, how they talk to me. And recently, I have realized that even if I'm disrespected by an older person, I'm going to have the same disrespect to them. I don't know if that just
Oh,
comes
wait
from
a minute.
taking so much
How old is
disrespectful behavior from people in my past or not. It may be just that you have reached your wits' end. It may be that you have come to the end of the journey of being uh patient. I feel you though. You know, I chuckled while I was reading it because that's one of the things that I thought about last night when I was thinking about my answer to the topic. Because whereas I become patient in some things, um, I have grown less tolerance for ignorance, and mainly in adults. Now, I don't. I'm not quick to be disrespectful or anything like that. I'm just very quick to just shut down and like. So if you don't hear from me anymore, it's probably because you said something dumb, and I'm just like, I need a breather for a minute to regroup because I may have to reach back out to you because that's just, the way life goes. But I just need to regroup so that I don't um I don't give you too much of self and it's a little godlier. But I've become less tolerant of ignorance in those who are like the over 40 range.
it? But let me say something. Age has nothing to do with, it should not, with respect.
True.
Um, and that's a misnomer that we have. It's just like Christianity or church folk.
But you would think
I've had to
that.
correct a number of people on that because I've been in settings. I have a life group where I have a mixture of age groups. The young and the not so young, and I have to make correct someone and saying, "Oh, you don't know because you're just you're young and you don't know the Lord. You don't know." Wrong. Um, it has nothing to do with time. It has everything to do with place,
I but
position,
but
where
I
you
feel like
are.
certain things, by now, um,
You would
should,
think, but
you,
when you
you
know better,
know,
you do better.
yeah, and I, I guess because I don't know, like when somebody plays on that playing field with me, as if we're on the same level, then I expect certain things from you as far as not even intellect, but just those common things like
But that's
that
the that's
I'm
that's the
realizing is not
often
so
made
common.
mistake. That's the often made mistake. Is you said it when you play things on a certain level, you expect that person because of their age. Not so. My dad used to say, um, you got more educated fools than
So, yeah.
others. You really do. People, because they've gone to college, they have buku degrees. It does not say that they will measure up to those degrees in terms of intelligence. The other thing is, this is so important. Another wise man said, if you allow people to change your
Yeah,
attitude,
my daddy used to
they
say
can
that.
determine your destiny. Yes,
Was a
the Colonel.
wise man.
If you allow people to change your attitude, they can determine your destiny. Let me give you an example. Uh, as you're saying, someone comes off out of the mouth with something totally ignorant, totally disgraceful, what have you, and you go there. You follow their lead. They've got you. They've allowed you to change your attitude. So therefore, you're where you in your mind they
Well,
are.
so I
And,
definitely don't give them Lahla-Hadiya. Like they really like I think that the people that have acquired my acquaintance in the last 5 years have not had to experience that, and I thank God for that because I came a very long way. Like I was
yes,
I didn't
I
really
way.
pause for much, you know what I'm saying? And I was witty, so like, it just kind of like just, it was like, and now I'm kind of like, I'll just
Breathe.
step back and you'll see me by myself. You'll see me if somebody
And
says something sideways to me, I'm always like, because I've become less tolerant of the ignorance. Um, I'll kind of like just step away, and it may show on my face, which I'm pretty sure it shows on my face. But I'll step away because I've become less tolerant. Now I didn't say that I've grown less self restraint. I've just become less tolerant. Where I'll usually I'll keep engaging. I was trying to overcompensate for the fact that I had a bad temper, so I would over engage and laugh it off, whatever. Now I'm just like, and so I just kind of like just fade the scene, and you'll see me
and
off to
then
my.
when we do that, you find that you take that time, and I got this from my son, who often says there's two things he usually asks people when they seem like they're out of sorts. First of all, have you eaten? And second, well, first of all, to breathe, and then have you eaten? Usually, when people have eaten, when you eat, most of you watch people in a restaurant, they eating, they're pretty good in pretty good disposition. They're okay. So I say, yeah, that makes sense. And of course, when you breathe first, in other words, while you're breathing, you can think, you know, give yourself time to think about what has been said, what has been done. Of course, we're getting into another topic. I can feel it right now for another time, about disposition, your attitude, allowing people to change your attitude. And that's one thing that I've always done. Um, um, I usually, as any teacher, I dare say, this should be at the top of your list, to think before you speak.
Yeah.
You cannot take things back. Once they come out of that mouth, you can't take it back. It's out there, it's in the universe. So you think before you speak. So, but in the past, as we say, 5 years, I've changed in the sense that I've become even more, I believe I've become even more consistent in terms of my attitude and my behavior, my ability to not let people, and you may think of it as letting people off the hook. You can't change anybody. You don't have that kind of power.
Right.
You can't even change yourself without intervention of spiritual higher nature. So, what makes you think that you're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? It takes two people to argue or discuss.
And now so
So,
much art.
at least. So, for you to keep coming back, it sounds good, but it's not. It doesn't feel good. And so the idea, my goal has been and is, even at this point, to become a better person. Each day, each night, I ask God, God, did I please you today? If I didn't, please make me more patient. Give me whatever I need to be a better person. And so it's just like perfection. People say, I'm not perfect. No, but you know what perfection really is? Perfection is striving towards, you only reach perfection when you have met the master himself. I believe that. So, it's nothing wrong with attempting and making those efforts to be perfect, you know. So over the years in a 5-year time, and you're usually fine when you go for a job interview. One of the questions is usually, where do you see yourself?
Mm-hmm.
What, 5 years from now, 10 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. And if you see yourself in the same position, I say something's wrong. You're not being as progressive as you should be.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal should be to be better than you were yesterday. And
I believe
any more comments?
there are a whole bunch of them.
Oh, come on with it. Let's see. Let me check it out.
Let me see. So Vanita says, in the last 5 years, I have gone from living nanny granny in my eldest son's home, braving up to do my first karaoke, paying a music school for the opportunity to get back on stage, then
Ooh,
singing at open mic jams.
that's
To,
what I'm
I
talking
know,
about.
girl.
Woo!
Today, I'm buying my own home. That
Okay.
look, we need to stop right now. Throw them hearts up. Throw them hearts up because that's a
Yeah,
big thing.
yeah. I'm
I
so
need them
excited
hearts
about
to start
that.
flowing for Vanita
Absolutely.
because we all about networking and lifting up our brothers and sisters, and we in this group we all related right
Fantastic.
now. So throw them
You
hearts
can
up.
do it. You can do it. Yes.
She's let me see, buying her own home, singing back up in a work Elvis tribute band. Okay, okay. Look,
Stop
I ain't
right
hating.
there.
I ain't hating. And I renewed my faith and was baptized. That's the hook right there. There you go. Because
Oh,
none of
oh,
this matters if you're not
and
doing
let
it
me
for the king. You know what I'm saying? If the king ain't in it.
tell you about that, Vanita. Let me tell you about that. And a lot of people think once you have been baptized, you've been dunked in the water, and you come back, you come out safe. Don't think, the only difference in before and now is the fact you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things are not going to be, don't expect things to be immediately perfect or, everything going your
What's
way.
up, G? Say?
Hey, the thing is, you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. Amen. Woo!
Look, she did a lot in 5 years. Let me see, let me see. And now I'm the leader of the praise team at our church. It goes without saying the emotional and spiritual growth that has happened to me in the last 5 years has been tremendous. It absolutely has. Like it was overwhelming just reading this. Like, yeah, you're pretty dope. You know that? You dope. Queen, you dope. You are dope. Let's see. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me see. Somebody's look. First of all, let me address the elephant in the room. Yes, this is the kitty's juice box, and I'm drinking the kitty's juice box because I don't really have a reason, but I usually don't. And so I thought I got a free pass, and I'm in my office. Nobody can see me, and so unless you guys open your
But,
mouth,
but okay, since you addressed the elephant in the room, let me share something about that. And
they
that's
fire me because I'm drinking a juice
within this
box.
5 years, you know
Healthy.
what? I don't identify with negativity, number one.
Yes,
Number
stop being
two,
negative. It's grape
I
juice,
don't
healthy.
worry. Stop worrying about what other people think. Stop worrying about what other people think.
I'm not.
If
That's why I'm
you
still
are
drinking it.
in the 5 years since I retired, I've had that's where coming in contact and taking control of yourself.
Yes.
It's so important because you don't worry about what
Oh
other
Lord,
people
my
think.
husband on here now. I'm gonna be in trouble. He gonna rat me out. He
And
be looking for ways to
and
snitch,
the
man.
other thing,
Gosh, he be snitching all the time because they think mommy's perfect.
but let me tell you about that. Think about, you don't even have to comment. Think about the times that your kids invade your space and
All
your
the
belongings.
time. Yo, I
Now
buy them snacks and they want my snacks. I ain't even
the
look. We
baby,
can talk about this
yes,
all day long, just about how all of my things come up missing. So this
yeah.
little juice box says I earned this. You understand? And it
And
matched my shirt. So
and if baby girl came in right now, I don't have to tell you the first thing she would do. She will do, baby
yes,
girl.
I give juice. I give juice. I give milk of life. Okay,
You
so I
need
deserve.
to
I
replenish.
deserve.
You need to replenish. Hey,
How I feel. I'm helping them out. Um, so Naya, Missy says that's my girl from way back. I find myself wanting to know what God has placed me on this earth to do. 5 years ago, I was aiming to be a hard worker at a major corporation. Today, I'm wanting to do major work for my own corporation. Let's get it done. Like what? Like what
right?
do we need to
Isn't
do?
that Misty? Little
Yes,
Misty.
that's Missy.
Oh
Yo, you lucky
gosh.
I ain't say how have you
Hi,
changed in the
Misty.
last 20 years.
I
Um,
remember
what
Misty.
was our history teacher's name? But look, let me tell you, let's get it done. Let's get it done.
You
Like
tried.
what you need me to do
Yes.
to read? Like
I
I'll do the
remember
research, man.
Misty.
Like what you need to do? Let's get that business started. Um, you have to take out the trash every morning. For real, Toriana. For real. For real. Where your wife at? For real.
Wow.
That's how you changed in the last 5 years. Did a child leave? Wait a minute, hold on. Did you have a child graduate? Did a child graduate? Like seriously? Um,
Wow.
Let me see. Meaty says I've become more aware of my impact on humanity, trying harder to help more and more, be more of a servant. Yes, and and this pen. And let me just give a shout out to my sis. This is my sis right here.
Always, always.
This is
Can't do
my
it
my
enough.
sister from
Can't do
another
it.
mister and mother.
Can't do it.
But she is. You talking about a dope queen? Like yo, this female right here is just so amazing. Like I love her. Um, she met like first of all, I'm trying to figure out how you do it so I can implement that in my day because like you never get tired. Like she will work, what 18-hour shift at the hospital, and then next thing you know, she running like she running like I just ate 8 miles for breakfast. Like for real, who do that? Who do that? Like she's amazing.
And it's
Y'all
not
need
that
to
she
get to know
doesn't get
her.
tired. She's human, so she gets tired, but she gets
Where she
that
get tired at?
energy. She's rejuvenated. She's rejuvenated. God replenishes that energy, and really, I tell you, the thing again in 5 years, when you look 5 years behind you, you should be better. The goal is to be better than you were the day before, and when you contact the right source
Yeah.
of your strength, then you will be better. You will be better. It's not an option. You will continue to progress. And so that's so
Mama,
important.
that's
Yeah.
it. Jamila says, loving the confidence that therapy has given me in the past 5 years.
Mm.
Yes. Yes, you have been more confident. Yes, sister. Yes.
Yeah,
I've
we
noticed.
talked
I've
about that.
noticed. Another dope queen.
One thing, and it's another topic that we will get into at a later time, is that mental health, taking care of yourself, your inner body, your inner spirit, taking care of that. It is so important. You can't take care of anybody else unless you take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to be drained, and you're not going to be any good to yourself or anybody else. So it's so important. It's so important.
Somebody said, I need some patience. Me too.
And I need it
Me too.
now.
Me too. Um,
Yeah, I heard a person say,
Renee,
"Yeah, I need patience and I need it now." It's like,
I need
wow,
that.
okay.
Renee says, I must say I've learned how to be more patient. Yo, where you get it from? What store did you go to? Like everybody looking for Lysol. Point me to the market for patience. I need that. I have learned how to be more patient, especially with my children. Having a child that needs more is giving me more patience every day. So you just made me have a Wizard of Oz moment because I talk so much about. Let me explain myself before y'all start laughing. So I talk so much about the fact that I need patience like that. God is still working on me. But the crazy thing is, 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago in June, he blessed me with my
An
fifth,
angel.
my one, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a lot. Five, my fifth child, Lajane Dewana Marie. I had to count y'all. I'm sorry.
Just
Um, and when she was 1 going on 2, she was diagnosed with autism, right? And so she's very intelligent. She's just nonverbal, and I say that with reservation because when Lajane wants to talk, she will talk and like she will say what she needs to say, and it'll be at the most unexpected moment, and we all look like we done seen a ghost. But she's nonverbal and she requires a lot of attention. And so I have like it's almost like that at the end of the movie where they're like, you've been looking for patience, but you've had it all along. Like, I feel like it's always been because I literally exercise patience with her. Because she's not only nonverbal and requires that added attention, but she's a Castro, and I'm sorry, where my baby at? She's a Castro. She's stubborn, and she's like your average 8-year-old Castro kid. Like I'm just like, yo, didn't I say put the toy back? It's not toy time. Like we're about to eat dinner. We don't come to the table with a toy, and so I'm still, going through those aging hormones with her, um, even though she requires additional attention in other areas. And so I guess he don't put the googly eyes. Yes, man. Yes, she's a Castro. Them Castros, where they at? Stand up. They
Oh
stubborn.
my
They
Lord.
are stubborn, spoiled.
Don't
But I love
don't
I
start
love
Mama
them. I
Lou
love
on
them. I
that
love them.
one.
I love them because I could go. But yeah. So I guess I do have patience. I do. I ain't so bad. Let me see. What's up, Lewis? Um, Here go my husband. Hi, mom. Meet your favorite son. I love you more than Lala. Lord have mercy.
He's a Castro.
Let
He's
me see.
a
Let me see.
Castro.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Everybody, y'all gunning for me for this daggone juice box. Lord have mercy. I'm about to go outside and weather the people, the contagion,
Breathe.
to get
Breathe.
another juice box. I can't
What did I
juice
tell
box.
you?
Come on,
You
man.
know,
Come on.
it's a tactic of the enemy.
So Jamila says another change is I've become the mother of an adult. That is a big shift. I am not ready. Loving the semi freedom. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Like as much as I joke about them going to, well, that's not a joke. I really want them to go and hang with their grandmother for a couple of years. I mean, hours. But I I enjoy, like sometimes I sit and I enjoy just watching my babies. Like I enjoy the innocence of where they are right now. So
And
that's a
Mama
big shift.
Lou enjoys her enjoying the time with her.
I really enjoy that. So yeah, that is a
I
big
enjoy
shift.
that as well. Yeah, yeah. I'm having a good time enjoying that.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me
But,
see what else.
it's really interesting. Jamila, you mentioned raising or living with adult children. You know, I have the privilege of when my husband passed, um, and my son came back, gave up his 10 years or more. time in living in North Carolina. He came back. He said his pop had passed and he needed to take care of his girls, the women in his life. And that was his sister who had gone into, was on the police force, and mom who was now a widow. And I so admired that fact that for a time, I felt, guilty about that. But, living with, he's my housemate. He has his space, I have mine. And I can say this, that one of the things that we have to accept when we're living with adult children, and number one, to realize they're not children, they're adults, and it makes us pretty much very much aware of of what we've done in training our kids, training them through the various stages. We have to recognize they're no longer children, but the idea is not to continue to treat them like children, but to, as you said, adults. And you got to grow them into that, or help them to grow into that stage. It's so important to do that. And by example, number one. Number two, by, making every moment a teachable moment. We're never too old to learn. It doesn't say that a parent knows everything. There's never been a manual specific to each parent. So you've got to do what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, in order to know, you've got to, study and show yourselves approved. And starting with the best manual in the world, and that is the Bible. And then, of course, using common sense, that equip that alongside of your Bible, your manual on life. But the important thing too is treating your adult children as adults, and that is responsibilities, which are very important. We have to stop spoon feeding them,
Mm-hmm.
spoon feeding them, treating them like babies or the little kids or the little teenagers. They're no longer teenagers, they're now adults.
Yeah.
And there are certain responsibilities that go along with that. So, and life can be beautiful. Like I said, my son has his space. I respect that. He respect mine. And there's certain things, when I see things, like, hey, I'm a dishwasher. We have no, I've never used my dishwasher. I am the dishwasher. I take pride in that.
My
So,
girls are my dishwasher.
he cooks. It's like unwritten rules. He cooks sometimes. I'll cook sometimes. And we get along fine. We get along fine. So it's a thing of respecting each other. Two adults. When you're living with an adult child, you have to respect the fact that you're both adults. And you just have to, out of respect for each other, recognize that. You see things, or things that are you don't approve of or whatever, you sit down like two adults and talk about them. You know. Yeah. Any more
Hey, yo,
comments? Y'all got kind of quiet.
Soriano said his son is about to graduate out of the DC Fire Department. That's what I'm talking
Woo!
about.
Yes.
I
Oh wow.
remember we used to, when I was in the academy, the police academy, we used to run their tower, the one they set on fire so they can practice putting the fire out or whatever. We
Oh yeah. I
used to
used to
have to
get
run
involved.
that
There's so
tower,
much people.
man. I was so glad to get out of the academy. I was like, once we graduated, I earned that. Like, we
Oh
that
yeah.
tower was no joke. We had to literally run, and I think it's like eight levels. It's 8 levels, something like that. 8 levels, and then it's like a tight squeeze, almost like a brownstone, but it's like 8 levels, and you had to
Oh
run
God.
up
Yeah, I've
and then
seen
run
that
back
from
down,
afar, from
run
a
around the
distance.
instructor, go
Yeah.
right back up. Yeah, it's crazy. Congratulations to
Kudos to
him.
your son. Kudos
Yeah,
to
show
him.
me some of them hearts. Y'all know we a family
Yeah.
up in here.
And
We a family.
and speaking of which, this is a no better time than to say congratulations to the many students who are graduating 2020. Uh,
Yes.
Hats off to you, no matter what level you're graduating from. We applaud you. Hang in there. This is a year that you will always remember. You will always remember.
Yeah.
And just I encourage you to make the best of it, and know that. This too will soon pass, and just move on with your hopes and your dreams and your goals. All
Missy
right.
said, for those that need patience, let me listen carefully. Um, I've started painting. I was
Mm,
horrible at it at first, only because I wouldn't allow my projects the time they require. Painting is about applying layers to get, yo, you about to preach up in here. Applying layers
correct.
to get a
I just,
masterpiece. Missy, to get a
all
masterpiece, and you
right.
have to wait for each layer to dry before you can apply the next. But if you want a
Wow.
masterpiece, you have to wait. This applies to art and life in general.
That's heavy.
Yo,
That's heavy,
that's
Misty. I
deep.
feel it
Like, I'm proud
coming
of you,
on.
Missy. That's, yo, I'm proud to know
That's
her.
heavy.
Like, we went to school together.
That's
Shout
deep.
out to Missy, man.
That's deep.
Like, yeah, we've come a long way, and it's, it's so, definitely I think was on here, Miss Mary. It's so it's so amazing to like see, where we all have ended up in life. We're talking about 5 years, but
Exactly.
like I think we've been going strong since like middle school, and even Mary, I think elementary. So it's like it's amazing to see you guys in your element with your families. Um,
All of you. That is so
life is
beautiful.
life is
I
life is
applaud you.
crazy like that, we,
That's
sometimes
beautiful.
we don't ever like we write that. I know I used to, don't call me crazy because I was, lining up baby dolls when I was in high school, but anyway, like I used to write down where I wanted to be, like where I saw myself or whatever, where I wanted to live, the friends I wanted to have, like I was going deep with it. And just to sit back, sometimes I come in here and I sit and I just think about, um, like where I actually have come from, like just the friends I've had and how we've transformed into the men and women that we are, and it's amazing because you know um
And it's a beautiful thing. It's really,
yeah,
I look at,
we've lost a few along the way, but for the most part, like, yo, we had pretty dope people in our graduating class, man.
and just
Like
even
doing good.
in your neighborhood, when you think of the kids that you've grown up with, and I always say this, good, bad, or indifferent, you still embrace the fact that these are people, this is a part of your history, it's a part of you, because you guys came up together. And it's like anything else, you're not going to always agree, you're not going to always, what the world think of as friendship, but it's there, it's family ship is what I like to call it, because it's a part of your maturation period, is a part of growing up,
Yeah.
and I applaud you guys. And Misty, I challenge you, put that in writing. That sounds, I love that.
Yes.
How you hook that up. I like that. With the painting, the layers, because I never thought of it that way. That is really, really
As you can
something.
see, I'm still impatient because I've painted before, and that's probably why my paintings be jacked up because I don't know how to wait. Help!
That's my girl.
That is probably why I don't even want to show you the last time my husband and I went to sip and paint and what it looked like. And you can't say it's because I was sipping because I was drinking water, So
Okay,
it was
okay.
no excuse
Yeah.
for my painting to
That,
look the way
but
it
that
did.
is a nice calming activity to paint and to draw. I'm gonna tell you something else. My baby, my other baby, Jamila, bless her heart, she posted something one day, a few weeks ago, of a coloring, a picture she had colored. Y'all remember the coloring books, and I'm like, oh, that is so wow. And so she said, Mama Lou, you want me to bring you? I have to go to the dollar store. I'll pick you up a couple of coloring books. And bless her heart, she did that same day. And I love it. You talk about a stress reliever,
Mm-hmm.
to sit down and just put the colors, just color. It really, it kind of brings you down. When I was in the classroom, I had this thing, and my kids knew this was my signal. Bring it down, bring it down. Whenever they were up here, or maybe I was up there too, and they see me do this, it's like everybody start, bring it down.
She should try that at
Yeah,
home. I thought she was about to swing. I was confused. I didn't know what that meant at first. I was
there's
out there
always one
doing.
or two. Oh yeah,
So what
wow.
I found, like and I'm gonna, I think I want to get back because I'm looking at some canvases now that I have. My youngest son is an artist, and He draws a lot. I mean, and he's like amazing in it. But I had gotten some canvases and that he utilizes. I'm sitting here looking at some right now, and I never professed to be any type of artist or like drawer or anything. Like I could not draw. I didn't think I could. My kids think I'm amazing. They're so lovable. But I didn't think I could draw like that. But you know what I've picked up? Sewing. Like it is
Yes.
so therapeutic for me.
Oh
Like
my
it,
goodness.
it
You
and,
know,
and it does require pain. Let me tell you, I decided I read the directions only to like kind of hook the thread and everything up, but I didn't like everybody's looking at tutorials for this and that. You can build a card by going on YouTube, but I decided that I just wanted to learn it just from experience, right?
I am so proud of her. I am
It
super proud.
I've gone through I've
You
gone through two sewing machines, but
and
I
forget the
think
needle. Don't forget the needle,
and the
the
needle. Well,
broken
I didn't
needle.
break the needle. I didn't break that. I didn't break the needle. Layla. Well, I don't want to throw her
It
under the
was under
bus,
your
but I didn't break the
supervision.
needle.
It was under your supervision. But you know
But
what?
yeah, it's been
And
it's
you
been
hear from
good for
God.
me.
You never get over being proud and pleased with your children. And you know what? I'm a sewer. I used to sew and make their clothes. My mom, I have outfits now that my mom made. She made quilts and so forth. And you talk about a beaming, like sunshine beaming grandmother or mother. When I saw my daughter, Lahla-Hadiya, the the famous recording artist, sewing at a sewing
Yes.
machine. It was like first day of kindergarten. I'm like so proud of her. I really am. I'm so
You
proud of
said
you,
how old
girl.
was I when I learned? I was last week years old. I was I
Lucy,
was 2 weeks
I'm
ago
so
years
proud of
old.
you.
That's how old I was. Like I literally just learned how to
I am
like,
so
and I
proud of
knew it was
you.
it. You know how like how your parents have that like for instance, my dad was he wasn't just a pastor, he was a carpenter, right? So
You're so
there's certain
incredible.
projects that I've done in the house that I'm like, babe, just let me try it because I know I can do this. And
Yeah.
because I feel like it's in me, and I would do it just because I think it's a thought, and I'd be good at it. So
You
like my dad, so I told you guys segments ago that my dad was my mom's
know,
manager,
he was my
and
stylist.
he right, and he was a stylist as well, so he would design and sew her outfits for concerts. So like I
Yeah.
knew it was, and then my mom used to sew my clothes when I was a baby and when I was a kid in school.
So,
So
and it just shows you
yeah,
how you never get, never be content with being just here. Continue over the next 5 years. Where do you see yourself? Where do you think you'll be? And strive for whatever your dreams, your hopes and dreams and your goals are. That's one of the reasons it's so important to write those goals down, and you can just chart yourself. It's a beautiful thing. What was it? You guys may not remember Grandma Mosley. No, that wasn't me. This is a woman in history who was like in her hundreds or 99 when she started painting.
oh
She
yeah.
started doing things. Yeah. So you're never too old to aspire to those things that you always wanted to do. So just keep striving, keep believing, keep hope alive. It's just Jackson, you say, keep hope alive. Yes.
Benita says, I call it being spirit led. Being born and bred in Baltimore City, I never thought I'd end up living in Hagerstown. Singing on the
Mm,
praise team with your brother in law, born and bred in New York City. Yes, yes, yes. Isn't that crazy?
good.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like
That's beautiful.
it's like when I see my brother like in his element, in New York, and then to remember like, my brother's in Hagerstown, like it,
Yeah.
and
Let go, let God.
it's so amazing to see. And if he ever gets to see this, I'm not gonna be too sappy, but like I love my brother in law. Like I've actually seen, talk about changes. I've actually seen changes in him over the last 5 years, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see the man that he is continuously becoming. in God, like, and utilizing his gift, which he's always done that. All of his CDs, like he's always had gospel CDs, but just to see those things that he sings about, like really literally become life, to him or whatever. And it's seeping out, and so it's like seeping out into the branches, his
And the
children
best
and
is
stuff.
yet to
And
come. It's no better
yeah,
thing
it's
than to
awesome.
grow spiritually, to grow in the spirit of the one who created you, who allowed you to be created, and as I said, never be content with where you are, and or more so, never get discouraged because of the timing. You're not where you thought you should have been or should be, because it's not about time, it's about position, where you are in 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 the creator's plan.
Right.
Your purpose was established when you were yet in your mom's womb. So, don't be discouraged. That's just continue to strive for the best of you.
And as we kind of like wrap this up or whatever, a few minutes left. I always like to end our weeks with like a fun topic, but yet thought provoking. And Missy basically hit it on the head right there. She hit the needle on the head.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
to look back from whence you've come,
mm-hmm.
you should see some type of progress, and it should be the type of progress that's enough to push you. To continue to keep going, because in life, like, we change, seasons change, we change, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing when changes come along. As you look at yourself today from where you were back then, you should see something that probably you were struggling with back then, that now you got a handle on. So change is not always bad. A lot of change is good, and you want to, in the next 5 years, be able to look back and say, wow, God, like, look, like, I remember when I couldn't do that before. It was no way I could sit next to somebody and have them disrespect me, and my hand I stopped moving. And now I can sit and I can smile and be like, you know what, I still love you. Like, we have to embrace the changes that God allows us to go through in life, because it's necessary a lot of times for the next level. And if we're not receptive to change, then we can't grow. Like a plant changes. When you water a plant goes through changes, and those changes are instrumental in the growth of the plant. And so when you look back at the plant, a couple of weeks from now, or 2 weeks from now, a month from now, that plant's growth is major sometimes, just because of the receptiveness of the change. And so as we go through life, let's try to be more receptive to some of the changes, like, even down to this pandemic. Let's make it relatable. Even down to the pandemic, it's a huge change. A lot of children are experiencing school as they've never known it before. A lot of adults are experiencing work life as they've never known it before. Families are experiencing interactions with each other that they've never known before. And it doesn't have to be all bad. What may have come from something that looked like it was brought here to take us out, God can still take that thing and turn it around for the good of those who love Him. And um, let's embrace the changes. Let's embrace the fact that we have our families home with us. That we have our children in our presence more often than not. You know what I'm saying? Let's embrace that opportunity, because it prepares and clears the pathway for growth. Because what should be happening is now you have more time to pour into them. So the growth that comes out of that, when we come out of this situation, because we will come out of the situation. To what situation, I don't know. I can't tell you, but we will come out of this situation. And when you come out of this situation, you want to have grown enough to handle the next situation. So
Absolutely.
let's embrace change. Let's embrace growth. so that we can be ready for the next level, y'all. Because I'm trying to
Yeah.
win, and I want y'all to win with me. So yeah,
Yes.
that's what I got.
Yeah, and just I'm one of the magazines that I subscribe to, Purpose Woman, but this could also be Purpose Man. And I challenge you, as I do every day, I challenge you to live your best life, because your best life starts with you living life on purpose. I often say on posts that I put up in Facebook, um, have a good day on purpose. Don't make it an accident that you're having a good day, or you just go out, set out to have a good day. And I always spell good day with the capital G, capital O, small o, capital D, with the God in it. Because there is certainly in my life a God in the good. So that's
That's
my
the hook
stand.
right there.
Stick it to it. I love you guys. I hate to leave
I
y'all.
know, man. We gotta wait a whole weekend. Dang. Miss y'all. I miss
Yes,
talking to
yes.
y'all. I miss y'all talking to us. Like it's
God
this
bless
has
the
been
love of
truly
the Lord.
amazing, man. This has been awesome. And like we've
Yeah.
made a whole season. Let me tell you. So my husband just informed me yesterday that I have to make my season 16 segments because he's been doing what he does in the video technology
Thank you,
world,
Johnny.
and he's so awesome. And he's been doing some edits and everything to kind of make it just right and to up so that we can upload them to YouTube, so we can kind of go back and repost stuff, things that you guys have missed, those who just chiming on in the last couple of segments. And we have like 16. We have 16 segments. We had like a whole season. So
Woo,
and that's not including like what we did
yes.
like
Thank
last
you,
week and this week.
Johnny. You
So
just got
that's
some extra
awesome,
brownie
man. That's
points from
awesome.
mommy.
That's awesome. I'm excited. So
Wow.
so anyway, yeah, so you know how it go.
Love
You know
you
the deal.
guys.
I love you. I love you, and y'all know Mama Lou. My
Have
mama
a
love you
great
too.
weekend.
And we all know God loves us. He loves us the most.
Yes.
So I want you guys to have an awesome weekend. I know some of you I don't know, be excited about this lift coming at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of Dodge, and make sure I am nowhere in the streets at that time, because I've seen The Walking Dead, and yeah, we ain't doing that. We're gonna be safe in our humble abode. And I hope
Yeah.
you guys are safe too. If you decide to venture out, please, please, please be safe. Please be safe. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for you to be laid in the hospital or have any of your loved ones laid up in the hospital. So please be smart
And
and wise about it.
I applaud Angela Alsabrook, our uh, county manager executive, because even though the other places around our county have lived, Prince George's County is still
Yeah,
maintaining.
Prince George's
You
and
know,
Montgomery County. So don't go taint those counties. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
taint
I
them. I've
pray
been one
God
of
for
them.
that.
Stay out of
Let's
my
and
space.
don't forget to pray. Prayer works. I promise you, prayer
Look,
works.
you got the good head doctor in here. She said, "Stay home,
That's
stay
right.
home. Wear your mask. Wear your mask
Absolutely.
in the house." You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's how
right.
contagious it's about to be at five
Absolutely.
o'clock. Real talk. Like I'm smiling, but I'm
Absolutely.
so serious. It's about to be
Yeah.
so contagious. You gonna have to wear your mask to stand at the door. You know what I'm saying? So like, cause people are about to be simple. It's
Yeah.
just it's
Yeah.
always a